Hi, everybody. Welcome to Discipline Hustle. We're going to do another podcast recording today, and where we're learning, building, and growing. Uh, Today, we're going to listen to the stories of Suzanne Cano, who is the founder of LunaLite Dental. And she has some very interesting technologies that she's bringing to bear to the market that are medtech. And so, without further ado, here's Suzanne.
Awesome. Hey, Suzanne. Glad to have you on here. So let's just kick it off. So tell us in your words, right? What is LunaLite Dental?
Yeah, LunaLite Dental is a company out of North Carolina, and the actual device is called the LunaLite device, which is a laser-guided dental X-ray positioner.
Okay, perfect. Now, that's interesting because I don't know if anybody wakes up in the morning and says, "Hey, let's make a X-ray device." So tell us, and I know the story, and it was interesting. So tell us your the origin story, not just the start
Yeah.
of LunaLite, but from the beginning, right before you even got to that stage. So tell us how you got to here.
Well, I've been in dental for over 30 years. I started off as a dental assistant, and then I worked my way up to sales, marketing, and training as well. So, and a lot of my background has been in imaging, home beam, CAD, and other imaging systems. Even in the medical field, I had an opportunity to work with scanners in the imaging field in medical. So that was originally my background for about 30 years. And the way this company started was not because I wanted to open up a company. I didn't have a dream, like per se, a dream to start a company, but I actually had a real dream of a device. And about 6 years ago, when I started it, I had this vivid dream that I was drawing this device. And I woke up drawing the device that I saw in my dream. So I started then drawing it. And so from that drawing, I really didn't know what I was being asked to do. I felt like there was energy behind this dream. And I'm a vivid dreamer, so I do see a lot of dreams. And some of them kind of come true, which is kind of scary, but they do. And this one was very, very interesting because I didn't have the energy like I did in the past. But this one was more like an assignment almost. And so I started looking at this device, and in that morning when I drew it, I did pray about it because I'm faith-based, and I asked God, is there something you want me to do with this? I literally just didn't know, but I felt enough in my heart to ask, for me, God. And I wanted him to be very specific with me, and I wanted him to show me if this was a sign for me to do something with this. Show me a lizard. Just show me a lizard. I don't know why.
So random.
It's like a green, bright lizard. Just show me a lizard.
That's so random.
And I kid you not, that was in the morning, like about 5 o'clock in the morning when I woke up drawing this device. And about 9 o'clock in the morning, I went out to my porch with my cup of coffee, and I kid you not, there was a green lizard sitting on the porch. I had never seen one so bright. And I live in North Carolina. I do see little brown lizards and whatnot, but this one was green sitting on my porch. And I thought, wow, is this no, this can't be a coincidence. So in my world, I'm there was really no coincidences. And I really just went into launch mode. So I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm and it's taken me forever because it's been a one-woman band, really. Just I've had people try to work with me, and some people have fallen away because there's just so much to this. And it's not just developing a product. It's really just now then bringing it to commercializing it, from manufacturing to FDA approval to patents. So it wasn't just for development. There was this whole plethora of work that I had to do to get to where I had to go. And to be honest with you, I didn't know I was going to do the business. I wasn't too sure, but I was kind of compelled to just go for it.
No, that's crazy. No, that's I mean, that's amazing. And
It's an amazing story. Yeah.
I mean, you have no CAD experience, no product design experience, but somehow you figured this stuff out. Like, walk us through, if you can, kind of like that process. It's literally like, okay, I'm drawing this thing.
Right.
Now what, right? Because, you know, there's probably some of our viewers, some of our listeners out there that probably have some kind of idea and says, oh, I think this is a great idea, but they don't go anywhere because they don't know where to go. Right. So what did you do, like, to say, okay, well, I got to get this thing going?
Right. So first thing, saw the lizard, and then I just started going into the website, CAD designers. I drew it, and I started going into like, how do I find CAD designers? And I went to Upwork. Was it Upwork? Yeah, yep. Upwork. Yeah. And I found a couple CAD designers right away. We started working on the design. And I literally, when I say right away, it was that day.
Wow.
That day I found someone, I saw his work, and I'm like, hey, let's work together on this design. The first design, because LunaLite went through 3 re-engineering. So the first design was like this huge piece of metal. It was like this big thing that was going to fit right on the cone head of a dental x-ray.
Do you have it? Do you have the?
I do have it. Yeah, I do have it. Yeah. And I printed it not knowing what kind of material to print it with. And I just said, well, how is this going to work? So it just, you know, I went through like several re-engineering until I got to a little 4x4 little x-ray positioner. It's really, really tiny. And it's like right here. This is how tiny it is. And it's a little computer in there. So we went from like something so big to something very, very tiny. And we can still go more smaller than that. So that was the first thing, find a CAD designer. Then from the CAD designer, he gave me some pointers about looking for a mechanical. You know, so now we had to think about including all the mechanical parts inside the product. Then from there, it was electrical, electronics. And so, and then it's like sensors. What kind of sensors are we going to look for? So I had to talk to several people to be able to bring this together. I did go through like product development companies. Unfortunately, one in my backyard ripped me off, like a lot of money, and I got nothing. So I stood with my independent people on Upwork. And I found, and I didn't, so after 3 times, the third time was a charmer when I got this small, and I couldn't find someone to help me like build a prototype without charging me like thousands of dollars. Yeah. And for some reason, I got someone on LinkedIn who reached out to me out of nowhere. And he said, hey, are you looking for any work? Or, you know, I'm like, he didn't even know me. He did not. We had a conversation. I'm like, how did you know that I was looking for someone? He's like, I didn't. I just was asking people. And I thought, great. So he had like this, like in his house, he creates these like, you know, budget friendly prototypes. And I was
might need him someday.
Yeah, well, I have a great guy for that. He is like really on budget.
Hold on. So, first of all, you had a dream about creating a product, and you had no experience creating products.
No.
And then you randomly get a message from somebody on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Randomly, like he had no idea that you were actually in this process.
No.
And said, I can build you a prototype. You're kidding.
Yeah, no, he asked if I was interested, if I needed a prototype, kind of. Yeah, I know, right? And I was like, how did this just happen? And it was great because he has like this little, in his basement, he builds all these budget, like friendly prototypes.
Wow, and that's blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, and we're still friends. He's still working on a new prototype for me. So,
I mean, what?
The power of the Bible.
I mean,
Reggie,
as
power
you
of the
are,
Bible.
okay, so this kind of leads to a few things. So, but as you're doing all of this, right? Because I mean, you were number one. You were like, you know, people get caught in this paralysis by analysis. You are not one of those people, right? You were like, hey, I have a sign here. I'm just going to keep going. I'm gonna push through. I'm gonna get going. During this time, are you also thinking about the business side of it? Like, okay, once I do get this built, how am I gonna get this out there? Like, or are you saying I just got to get this thing built and I'll figure this stuff out after it's actually built? Like, what was your
Yeah.
mindset? What were you doing?
Yeah, no, great. For me, it was about making sure that the product was going to work. So I wanted to prove the concept. And if I can prove the concept, then we have gold, right? So I didn't want to put the horse before
The cart. Yeah,
I don't know what
the
the
cart,
cart,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I really just wanted to take it slowly. It was really exciting to see your cat drawing come to life. You get super excited, but that doesn't mean anything.
Right.
What's really important is when you go into clinical testing, workflows have to be, done. People have to like it. And I understood that because I worked for several startups and some of them were launching new products. So I had to go out and train some offices. So I understood that just because you launch a product doesn't mean it's going to be successful. I mean, there's work to be done with after you launch it. It's not like it's going to happen overnight. Well, at least you don't normally find unicorns. Some can make that happen, but it's very, very rare. The reality is that most companies are going to take time, especially if you're disrupting systems.
Right.
I wasn't trying to disrupt, but I had to, I guess. I was kind of compelled to do a disruption, which at first I didn't know what this product was. And then I understood that with my background in creating this design and bringing something that was needed, kind of like fused together and created this movement for me to move forward to clinically test it and see if it was going to work first. And that was the exciting part. When I had the prototype and I took it to clinically tested, I was off by a few millimeters. So I had to go back, I couldn't believe it. That to me, it was like 60% there. When I took the x-ray, it was like cut off. And I thought, what am I doing wrong? Well, if you look at my design here, this little laser was really right in the middle here. And what I realized in dental x-ray, everything's about millimeters. So I had to design it to bring it down a little bit. And that was what caused us to create the right angulation. Just a little bit of a change caught me, was able to get external angulations.
Okay, so you got the product, and then like you say, clinical trial. Like I think the average person when they hear that, you're like, oh my gosh, like clinical trials. Like where do you go? Who do you talk to? It's to me, it's just like the stuff that's going on in your path. It's just like you haven't done this before, but you're going out there and you're talking to people, you're using the resources. Like, how do you even know where to go for clinical trial? Like what?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I was looking, you just don't know, right? How do you know? You got to do you got to be a researcher. You really, really have to like to do a research. And thank God for Google at the time, because that really did help. But you could go to and pay a lot of money to get clinical stuff done.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't have that kind of fun. So I called dental schools and I asked them, I have this new device that I think is really going to work for dental x-ray positioning. Would you guys mind if I go in there and test it on your dummy tester? Because, your dummy heads, and I got a lot of no's until one dental school kind of nearby where I live. I talked to her and she was like, no, I'm not going to let you do that unless there's something in it for me. And I said, perfect. I said, well, here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to buy you some lunch. I'm going to give you $100 and I'm going to give you a free device once we get it to manufacture. She's like, perfect. Yeah, come on in. And so we've been friends.
Oh
since
my
then,
God.
You are so resourceful.
Very
I
good.
Think, that's the thing that I'm hearing too, right? You just got to be resourceful. Like just keep plugging away. Now, this goes to one of our questions is we ask every single person that we talk to, you have to have a strong why, right? What is your why? Like what keeps you going? Because it sounds like everything's kind of going smoothly, but I have to think that there's probably some bumps in the road. You're like, oh my gosh, do I keep doing this? Why am I doing this? So that's the question that we're asking you. What is your why? What keeps you going? I know you're a woman of faith, right? I get it. Is there anything else that like you're just like, hey, I got to keep going. This is why I'm doing this.
Right. I think what scares me is if I stop. What scares me is I've already launched this. And imagine you launched something, you took so long and so much dedication to have another company come in and just kind of take it under your, under your feet and decide to build something very clever. And that is really my why. Like my why is to keep going and see this through and continue my dedication, regardless if I make a lot of money or not. Money comes later. Right now, I am really making sure that people are liking the product, are really utilizing it, and are seeing it beneficial. And this is the why for me, is to really make sure that people are finding LunaLite the go-to product in the long run and not the short term. So for me, it's not short term. So really just the why is to really just kind of, again, establish the brand.
No, it's a great story of tenacity. I mean, just stay with something that you really believe in. And, like Reggie said, there's the faith component of it, which I think is very important. I myself believe in it, and quite a bit, have visions sometimes like that. Not as vivid as yours. I don't have a green lizard in my life, but I ask for signs from God sometimes, and somehow it comes about. So I understand what you're saying. In terms of like, that why again too, are you do you find yourself questioning yourself at all, really, or you just no way? Yeah, it's just 100%. I'm gonna give it my effort.
No, I questioned it when I first launched it, and there was like crickets. I was like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah.
What's going on here? So I mean, you get to all these different phases of the production, right? So I learned production, I learned packing, I learned manufacturing. There was so much before the glamorous marketing came in, and launching it and getting in front of people, getting to speak in front of investors. There was like this
the infrastructure, I call it, definitely that is something near and dear to my heart. I truly believe that a lot of people don't spend the time on the infrastructure, and there is the glamorous part, the marketing and the sales and things like that, but you got to really set up that infrastructure first. Reggie and I talk about it all the time, and I think you reaffirmed that for me, that people have really got to really look hard at the infrastructure and make sure, you really have taken your time setting all that up before you go out and sell to anybody. You want to make sure you have all of that operational stuff done. So that's a great point, Suzanne. That really hits home for me.
Yeah. And remember, if one person can do it, one woman, with not a lot of help, I think that, that should really send a big message to people who want to start something. At the end of the day, we see a lot of layoffs happening. You kind of almost have to learn to be an entrepreneur nowadays and not be afraid of it. Embrace it, learn how to be resourceful, and really just kind of go for it.
No, I love it. I mean, I love it. So here's a question for you then. Okay, so you've gone through all of this stuff. What's that one piece of advice you would give yourself before you started this journey?
Yeah, I would ask for more signs.
All right.
That's awesome.
You're like, are you sure? You sure? Send another sign.
Dolphin.
Dolphin.
Pink pony,
Some
kind of a unicorn.
You're like, you sure you wanted me to keep going? Are you sure? Send me something. No, that's funny. No, I mean, look, that kind of makes sense. So, it's just, but okay, great. So now, okay. So here's somebody's asking you, hey, what's that one piece of advice you would give to an entrepreneur or somebody that isn't really an entrepreneur, but like you said, maybe they got to start thinking about these things, right? What's that one piece of advice you would give them?
Right. I love that question because a lot of times I think a lot of people are natural entrepreneurs, right? Because if you start thinking about it, that's already the seed that's being planted. You know, that now it starts to grow. You hear people's stories, and the more you hear the stories, the more you want that to happen. And I think that naturally, when you start to grow and that seed starts to grow, you start to find resources about how or what type of business you can get into. And I think for me, I would definitely tell people what you're really passionate about. I was really passionate about imaging systems. I loved it. I love going in and training people on head and neck scanners. I love going through the applications of the software. And that for me was very, very passionate for me. And I know that's kind of dry, but for me, it was super exciting. I'm like, yeah, let's go show them how to take a scan and proper positioning. And so it made sense for me. So if that makes sense for you and you love like doing podcasting or content on YouTube, you want to start slow. You don't want to put all your money into it. You just want to kind of take your time and really just give yourself some time to learn what you're going to have to learn. It's a lot of work. You're going to put a lot of work into it, but start off very, very small and slow, and then just move it from there.
It's good advice.
Yeah, it's great advice.
So we have one more question, but before we do that, I'll pull it up here. Before we do that, what is the best way our listeners, our viewers can reach you or can find out about LunaLite? What's the best way to do that?
Yeah, they can go to LunaLiteDental.com. You can go to my website and you can sign up as a customer to get our newsletter. You can buy a product there if you wanted to as well. And you can learn about the company and myself as well, and how many years I've been in the dental industry, and some of my testimonials. I have several great testimonials, one from Tufts University as well. So it's pretty exciting. So yeah, definitely check us out.
Awesome. Okay.
And that's LunaLite, L-I-T-E.
Yeah, LunaLite, L-I-T-E, right, dental.com, correct.
LunaLite Dental.
Okay,
great.
Perfect. All right, Suzanne, so we've got some questions here.
It's random.
Completely random questions. We're going to spin the wheel here.
Okay.
You know, you don't have to answer it, but these are fun mostly, I think. Yeah. I don't know. We haven't gone through all the questions.
And they're all clean.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get this spin going. Let's see what we got.
Here we go.
What is this? Okay. Oh, it's interesting. If you had to be stuck in a Groundhog Day loop, repeating one day over and over, which day from your life would you choose?
The LunaLite.
Your dream.
Yeah.
That all happened in the day, you said, right? You dreamt it, and you asked for the sign, and you saw the sign, and then you even did some stuff on Upwork. Wow. So you just want to keep.
She didn't even hesitate. That was like right there. Yeah.
So you want to just keep on doing that every day. Okay.
I think it was such an exciting moment. You know, when I saw the sign, I was like, okay, I'm paying attention. I know my assignment. Let's do it. And it was so exciting to just follow through.
You got that rush, probably just that rush of, okay. I think probably when the you saw the lizard, right? You're like, oh, whoa, like this.
That's what did it. Yeah, it was the lizard.
Yeah, I would be the same way. Like, okay, I think I gotta go do something. Like, I can't just sit here anymore. So, perfect. Rob, do you have any other questions or anything?
No, Suzanne, you great. You have a great energy about yourself. I can feel it, coming through the video, and I can, I'm sure our listeners and our viewers can feel it too. So, you keep that up. That energy is something that's very special, and I think it'll take you a long way. Just having that positive energy, and and again, I really do, feel like you believe in it. You could tell. That you're behind this. So yeah, all the best of luck to you. And definitely get out there and let's use LunaLite to reinvent the whole X-ray,
Yeah.
It's definitely got to get better, you know.
Yeah.
Right. And I am going into a second phase now. So I have the
Mhm.
new one coming out
Yeah.
too, which I'm
We'll
pretty
come. You'll
excited
come back
about.
on. We can talk about that for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So, all right. So, everyone, listeners, viewers, thanks for watching and listening to the Discipline Hustle podcast. Remember to keep learning, keep building, and keep growing. We'll catch you on the next side.